It's time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online for all your website needs at sonicwebstudios.com. The Mike Wagner Show brings you interesting people doing interesting things all across the globe. Now, let's get started on the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. Hey everybody, Mike Wagner on the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. Also, check us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can also like, share, invite friends to our page, and also check out the interviews on the page. And don't forget to download and listen as well on your device through SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Take the Mike Wagner Show wherever you go. And we've got a fine lady here who just got back from California and from the Grand Rapids, Detroit area, so we'll just call it the Michigan area. She's been an actress and voiceover talent for quite some time. She appeared on End of the Tour, Setup with 50 Cent, Bruce Willis, Ryan Phillippe, and also in Garroter and quite more, and has some very interesting projects and some pretty good stories. So, ladies and gentlemen, live from Michigan, and of course, don't let the Red Wings beat you, Carrie Bradstreet. Carrie, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. It's good to be here, Mike. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Of course, you've been an actress and a voiceover talent for a number of years. You've been in End of the Tour. You've been in Setup with 50 Cent, Bruce Willis, and Ryan Phillippe, and also Garroter and Gun, and quite a number of projects, too. And you've also done some commercials of noteworthy, and of course, you can tell us about that. But first, tell us how you got started in acting and voiceover.
Wow. How I got started. Well, I've always had an interest. I started having an interest when I was very young, and I developed anxiety, so it wasn't quite the right kind of a characteristic to have if you wanted to, be an actor, be on camera, and be in front of people having anxiety. So I kind of was an actor just in my daily life by pretending I didn't have anxiety. So I called myself, I've been an actress my whole life. But I did do a little bit of acting in high school, and then I studied a little bit in college. I went into broadcasting, actually, in college. But I opted to get married right out of college. And so I kind of put all of this on hold for about 16 years, and then I kind of had the bug again, and so I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to get back into this. I started doing a little community theater here in the Grand Rapids area, and from there I started doing some local commercials. I had a production company that would use me for almost everything, and so I did so many commercials for them. I was just like their go-to person. And so I was fine with, just doing the local stuff. And then if the Michigan had some film incentives very, very briefly, and that's when I shot some of those movies that you listed that we're shooting here in the Grand Rapids area. 50 Cent, he was going to open a studio here, and he filmed a couple of movies here in Grand Rapids, and End of Tour was shot in Grand Rapids. But then I got to the point, I wanted to take it to the next level. And so I went to Chicago, and I found several agents in Chicago. And so I was starting to be able to get more auditions for like some of the Chicago shows. Like I had auditions for Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Chicago Med. And then I kind of reached out and branched out into LA. A couple of my agents can submit LA auditions, and so I've been doing some auditions for work out in LA, and then in Atlanta, and then in Texas. My daughter moved to Dallas, works for the airlines. And so that kind of opened me up to being able to travel all over the place. So I can tell agents, hey, I can, even though I'm in Michigan, I can travel to, pretty much anywhere the airline flies to and work. So that's pretty much opened me up in the last couple of years.
That sounds amazing as well, too. And I'm sure you get reduced flights or free and everything like that. Nice benefit for the airlines if you have to travel. So,
Exactly, and this worked out great. I mean, now that the travel season is over, it wasn't any problem finding, seats, to Chicago or Chicago to Burbank, and that makes it nice. You don't have to worry about, flying standby or something. So, yeah, it worked out good. I shot a commercial. People ask, "What are you shooting? What are you shooting?" This, and I don't know when it's going to air, if it's going to air, on internet or TV, but it's kind of like what used to be infomercials. They don't really do infomercials anymore, but when they launch a new product and, you have demonstrations of it and then a testimonial about it. And so I had to try the product and then have like glamour pictures of me using the product.
hmm
And so that was kind of nice for the weekend. So
it sounds interesting. Sounds very fun. Almost like what was it, QVC or Home
yeah,
Shopping Channel? QVC. That's what I think of. So,
yeah, it'd be very much like that. Yes.
and of course, I was going to ask you about the movie setup as well too. With 50 Cent, Bruce Willis, and Ryan Phillippe. What was it like working with those three? And who was your favorite to work with, or who was the best you liked?
Well, you know what? The scenes that I didn't 50 Cent was the one who was in the scenes that I was in, and there was another actor. And I'm trying to think of. I'm so bad with names too, and I don't know if you're familiar with the show Dexter.
I've heard of it, yeah, but it's been a while.
He
But I
played
do understand.
he played Dexter's dad, if you can think of that actor. Um, but I played a police detective in Setup, and so I worked around him. And 50 Cent wasn't in the scene, but he was behind the scenes on a electric scooter, and he would just be like, going around through the warehouse we were in, and so he was very friendly, and so I would say, he was probably the most fun to work with. Bruce Willis was in the scene, one of the scenes that I did for, I'm trying to think what um, the other movie that I did. Um,
It's was it Garroter or Gun?
oh,
So I've got
oh,
a
the
list
gun.
over here. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Setup was the one that Bruce Willis was in, I believe, and then Gun is the one that I played the detective that 50 Cent was in with me. Yes, but they were both 50 Cent movies. And Garroter was a Michigan produced movie, which I had the lead in. And so that one, I know it's been released just on Amazon Prime, but that one I'm in a lot. It was a very long movie and a lot of scenes and a lot of dialogue, which is something that, what to me, acting is, acting, not always just blurbing and just talking, talking, talking. So I much rather have a role where I'm not doing a lot of gabbing and more just acting and emoting and things like that. In the last two movies that I did so much dialogue. I'm like, what is this? I don't like to talk. So yeah, this last movie I did was called No Maximal Dose. It's another Michigan movie, and it was about the opioid epidemic, and it was
hmm
a pain doctor who wrote it, directed it, and I play a pain doctor in it. Waiting for that to be released because it's been over a year now, and it's still in post production, and hopefully that's going to be out in the next month or two. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how that turned out, especially since that's such a hot topic right now.
And where is it going to be released? Is it going to be on Amazon, Netflix, YouTube, or where can they potentially see it?
I think he's going to start out with just film. What do I want to say? Gosh, I'm so I'm so bad at coming up with like film festivals. That's what I must say.
Oh, film
Starting a
festivals. Okay.
film festival first, but I know that he had buyers for it,
Hmm.
and he was going to make it into a short film, a feature length film, a documentary. So of all of the stuff that we're shooting, that he's got a bunch of different things that he's going to do with all of the work. But I thought that the film festivals could be starting, this first part of the year. So that should be any time. And then I'm not sure if it'd be released. I'm thinking probably not a theatrical release, but more of a streaming release, like the Netflix or Amazon, that kind of thing.
Hmm. It sounds like you got a good thing going. That's been the big thing with the web series, the Netflix, and everything else. And many people
Yeah.
are embracing it, which is a good thing.
Yes, exactly. And there are a lot of auditions that I see. There is so much work now for actors because there are so many, venues out there now. You have a lot of these streaming channels. You have all these new cable channels. They need content,
Hmm.
So it's not like you just had to get a show that was on one of the networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. Now there's just so much work out there. Unfortunately, not a lot of it in Michigan, so you do have to travel to Atlanta or to California to get a lot of that work.
Hmm. Oh, well, that sounds really good. We'll talk more about that. First of all, you're listening to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. Also on Facebook at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can also check out the past episodes. You can also like, invite, and share with your family and friends. And also you can download the episodes as well, too, and listen live on SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. You can take the Mike Wagner Show wherever you go. We're here with Michigan native Carrie Bradstreet talking about her career. Appeared in End of the Tour, Setup with 50 Cent, Bruce Willis, Ryan Phillippe, also Garroter, and also talked about No Maximal Dose, and also, some others as well, too, like the End of the Tour and many more. And, of course, there was one question I was going to ask you before we get into some of the films. What was the one thing that influenced you into acting once and for all? What was, like, the one moment you had?
That's a good question. I always just kind of liked to be somebody else, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like it started out as a child, and I also wanted to have a career where I got paid, just kind of, being myself, being self-employed, and this was just kind of a way to, well, I kind of wanted to do broadcasting, I consider, where I could be myself,
Mm-hmm.
or hosting, and I've done a lot of hosting and stuff like that. But I just, even though I had anxiety about being, in the public eye, I I kind of fought through that because I really liked being able to do something that I thought was fun. I could make people laugh. I have a self-deprecating sense of humor. Comedy was always my favorite thing. Is like helping with my anxiety. So beat them to the punchline. You
Uh-huh.
know, say what was bad or funny about myself, and so that kind of fit into what I wanted to do. And so really, comedy was really what got me into this and really kind of prepped me more for the film work that I've done in the last couple of years. I did a local sketch comedy show for about 8 years.
Mm-hmm. That is
And
that is amazing. And also, too, when you're talking about comedy, what are some of your favorite comedy shows, and who are your favorite comedians growing up?
oh, you know what? I loved growing up. I loved Carol Burnett. Carol
Oh,
Burnett.
classic! I love Carol Burnett.
Yes,
Classic.
and I used to, do some of her characters in high school. I would do the Lenore Desmond, and I'd have this evil eye, and I And I loved Lucille Ball too, and I loved the old I Love